5, episode 2. So we see this episode starts off with where we left off, where of course Lou is gone. Marvin is running around trying to find Unique because he thinks that he's the one that killed him. So he's asking the guys on the corner, giving them money for information, telling them whatever they find out, he's willing to pay for information. And all they tell him is they know there's a spot somewhere in Jersey. So then we see a scene with Unique and his girl. He went up there to visit them, his girl and his son. And they're like way out in the woods somewhere, kind of secluded, but it's a really nice house. And his son is acting really distant with him, of course, because he's still afraid, because they got snatched up. I don't blame the little boy. And his girl is trying to tell him, why don't you just stay here with us? Or why don't we just leave? And he's like, I was born on the south side and I'm gonna die on the south side. And she kind of just looking at him. I'd be like, you gonna die by yourself because I'm not. But he, she kisses and hugs him, and he leaves, and the little boy actually gives him a hug. That was a nice scene, because he hadn't really been talking to him, but right when he was getting ready to leave, he ran out the house to hug his dad bye. So he goes on back to the south side, and while he was away, Breeze, Kanan, and Snap and Pop had met with their kingpin, and he didn't know nothing about it. The only way he knew about it was one of the guys told him, mentioned it to him. So he's getting the point of, they trying to ice him out. And as a matter of fact, when they was at the meeting, um, the kingpin told them, "Oh, I hear that Unique is supposed to be joining this operation, but he used to work for Russo. He not one of my favorite people." And so they said, yeah, well, we got to kind of keep him on. Snapper Pop said we got to keep him on because he has people, and it's not going to be that easy to take him out. And the kingpin said, I disagree. So that was pretty much the green light to that they go ahead and get rid of Unique. So now not only is Marvin looking for Unique, now Breeze and Kanan pretty much have orders to take him out too. So we see a quick scene with Russo. He's at home with his wife. They kind of get in a little argument, and then he makes up with her and tells her that he's going to take her out to dinner when he gets back because he has to go to a business meeting. He leaves and with one of his security guys who was acting real nervous. I don't know why he ain't see it because I saw it. He was acting real nervous. And so he like, say boss, can I stop and get like a bacon, egg, and cheese, like get some breakfast? And Russo like, man, my life is on the line. We in a war and all you thinking about is food. He said, go ahead, just get what you do what you gotta do. So he pulls up to the fast food spot, and next thing we know, security jump out the car, out that front seat, and run away. And then here come a bunch of the other Kingpins guys, and they surround the car and they light him up like a Christmas tree. So Russo is gone. That issue is gone. Meanwhile, Roxy's running around the city because she talked to the Kingpin that's not working with King and Snap, with Papa Snap, and he don't want nothing to do with her. He told her he's done, and she she said, "Well, I'll just start off with somebody else." He said, "No, if you do that, um, I'm gonna run you out of the city." So she talks with Marvin, and then she decides that she's gonna go to Manhattan. And so Marvin said, "Well, you think that's a good idea?" She said, "He don't have nothing to do with Manhattan. That's not his territory." So she figures out a way to find out who the kingpin is actually in that territory. Now he knows, um, of course, the kingpins know each other, but she goes over there. Rock's got to give the gab. She goes over there and talks to him and tell him, we could make a lot of money together, and listen to him. This not even his territory. So he said, well, how you gonna, you know, what are you gonna how we gonna run it or whatever. And she said, I have an idea that she had went talked to one of the girls at the strip club to find out who ran, um, like who was the the madam, quote unquote, of the area, or the pimp of the area. And the girl told her it was, I forgot the lady's name. She's a woman. And so Rock went over there and talked to the lady, and they decided they're gonna, be in business together. Meanwhile, Marvin is over at Lou's the old studio, the old, well, it's not even a studio, the old club that Lou used to have a studio in the back of, and that made Stephanie was there, and Lou was Marvin was putting some boxes, which is really their stash. He was putting some boxes, so she walked in there and she was like, "What's going on? What you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, just some BS boxes." And she's like, mm-hmm. So they go out and have a drink at the bar, and Marvin tells her, my sister and I, we gonna buy you out and give you a fair price. And she's like, something tell me that I don't really have a choice in this matter. And he said, you gonna give you a fair price. She said, I don't think Lou would like this. He said, you right, but Lou not here no more. So they're gonna what it seems like they're gonna do is they're gonna take that club and turn it into like a strip club, and they're gonna be running women out of there and drugs. So one thing about Rock, she about her business. She know she about her money. So that part is taken care of. Um, and then we see where towards the end of the episode, everybody is looking for Unique, and uh, Breeze and Kanan go over to where he stays at because Kanan is gonna be the one to do it. And Breeze giving him the gun, and he like, yeah, I know he used to kick it with your mom, Um, I don't know, how you feel about that. And Kanan, of course, is like, I don't care nothing about him. So he go in there to try to kill him. But when he get there, Unique not there. So in the meantime, Marvin, um, one of the street guys told him that this um, dude that hangs with Marvin all the time, he would know where he at. So he walk in the bar and he tell the dude, he said, listen, where Unique at? He said, if you tell me where he at, I'm gonna let you finish that drink. And so the dude pretty much like started laughing at him, like, man, y'all hear what he talking about? He gonna let me finish my drink. And Marvin, Marvin, and I ain't editing it out. Marvin starts shooting, shoot them all up, basically shoot everybody up in the club. And the guy is still alive. He shot him, he didn't kill him because he wanted him to give him the information. And he told him because next we see him driving up to New Jersey to that house, and some kind of way somebody must have told Unique uh, because he had ran into Kanan Unique, and he like, why you ain't asking me no questions about your Uncle Lou? And Kanan looking standing and looking stupid like he is, and he ain't say nothing. He said, well, that must mean you know that I didn't do it and you know who did it. He said, was it Rocks? He said, because she don't care about nobody. He said, oh, maybe it was Marvin. Brothers get into it. I know a little bit about that. And he said, or it could have been you, maybe y'all got into something. And the whole time he's standing there looking dumb, and he just get in the car, Kanan, and drive away. So, Unique is smart. He knew that they was gonna get him, and he also knew that Breeze and them, they wasn't gonna beat him. They ain't mean him no good. So Marvin gets over to the house, and I was like, oh my God, he gonna kill. He gonna kill the child and everybody else. So he gets to the house. He walks in. The TV is on, all the lights on, and the TV is on, because once Kanan went over to Unique's place and he wasn't there, I thought he was with them. Um, and Marvin walking around the house, ain't nobody there. The next thing we see is Unique, his lady, and the boy are in the car, and they driving away. And She said, we just left all our stuff at that house. He said, we'll get some more stuff. Don't worry about it. So she said, well, what about everything in New York? He said, we're not ever going back to New York again. Um, we going somewhere else. We're going to start over. And then Kanan does the voiceover, and he said, one of the hardest things to do is not being in the game, it's leaving the game. It's very few dudes know when it's time to go. This dude, well, he ain't say dude, he said this MF right here is one of the few to ever get it right. Hats off to him. So Unique got away. He done, but at least he did. I just knew they was gonna kill him. So it was a good episode. I give it about a B. So next week is episode 3. Thank you so much for listening to my review, and you guys have a great night. Bye.